You'd think, in the tech world, the best code always wins, right? Well, what if I told you that's just not true? Today, we're going to unpack a story about a huge project, 200 brilliant developers that ground to a complete halt. And what we learned from it? Well, it changes everything you thought you knew about what really makes a project succeed.
That right there, that was the exact thought that just slammed into our main character, a seasoned engineer, smack in the middle of this giant project. It was this, lightning bolt moment of realizing, hey, my main skill, the thing I'm best at, it's not actually enough to make this thing move. So, picture this. Our hero is a 7th-year engineer. Pretty experienced, right? And they get thrown onto this monster of a project. We're talking 200 people. Their mission? To move the company's entire ancient system from COBOL over to Java. Talk about high stakes. The pressure was absolutely immense. So, here's our call to adventure, into the chaos. Our engineer wasn't just on the team. They were right in the eye of the storm. They were the Java expert and the lead for something called configuration management. Basically, it was their job to wrangle the work of all 200 developers. No big deal, right?
Okay, so what is configuration management? It's not just, keeping track of code versions. It's way bigger than that. Think of it as the project's DNA, or its central nervous system. It's about setting all the rules, deciding what tools get used, and basically making sure all the code from 200 different people can actually plug together and work. It's the very first step, and if you mess this up, oh boy, the entire project is pretty much doomed from the start.
All right, Section 2, when logic isn't enough. You get 200 smart developers in a room, and it didn't take long for things to get chaotic. See, every single person had their own opinion on the right way to do things. Every little technical choice turned into a massive argument.
And I'm not talking about healthy debate here. The whole project was frozen, just stuck in the mud over these tiny disagreements. You had people saying, I want to use this library, or no, this rule is inefficient, or why are we using that naming convention? And the big one, setting rules just restricts our freedom. Every single attempt to create order was shot down. And this was the big aha moment. Our engineer realized that what is technically correct is not the same as what actually moves the project forward. You can have the most beautiful, logical, technically perfect solution in the world, but it's completely worthless if you can't get people to actually use it. Logic on its own doesn't move people. So they were at a total stalemate. Logic wasn't working. What was the missing piece? We are just about to get to that. And hey, if this whole scenario sounds painfully familiar to you, do us a favor and hit that like button. And be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the human side of tech. Suit Fuddy.
Okay, so this first realization opened the door to an even bigger one. The project wasn't just stuck because of the developers arguing, it was stuck because of who wasn't in the room at all.
So who are these other key players? Well, you've got your environment engineers, the people who actually have to put the code out into the world. You've got the operations support teams, the ones who get the 3 a.m. phone call when it breaks. And of course, the customer-facing teams, the folks who have to deal with angry users when things go wrong. All super important people.
But because all the discussions were just dominated by developers, all these other perspectives were completely ignored. And the result? You get these systems that might be beautiful on paper, but they're an absolute nightmare to actually deploy and maintain. They don't work in the real world.
This brings us to the inconvenient truth. So if it's not the brilliant coders who are moving this thing forward, then what is?
The answer, it turns out, is project structure. Now, what does that mean? It means designing the rules of the game. It's about aligning all those different interests and connecting all the moving parts so that the whole project can finally move forward. It's the framework that lets even the best engineers shine.
And this is a really tough pill for a lot of engineers to swallow. We're taught this illusion that technical skill alone wins the day. But the reality is, it's the structure that actually enables success. Your personal skill, no matter how amazing, is only as good as the system you're working in. Honestly, this is the secret sauce. This is what separates projects that crash and burn from the ones that succeed. And if this insight was valuable for you, let us know with a like and definitely subscribe to keep these explainers coming. Click, thumbs up.
Okay, so who controls the structure? Let's zoom out a bit, because this isn't just about software projects. This idea applies everywhere, especially to those big buzzwords you hear all the time like digital transformation. Companies love to throw money at new tools or the latest AI, but that's just low impact. That's the easy stuff. The real game changer, the high-impact move, is designing the overall structure, the how and why those tools are used. That's where you see real results. And that brings us to this really powerful idea. Organizations and projects, they aren't just collections of people. They are collections of structures. The way a team is set up, the way decisions get made, how information flows, that's what defines what an organization can actually achieve.
Which leaves us with one last really big question to think about. Who controls that structure? If that's where the real power is, who is designing the structures where you work? Because whoever that is, they're the ones who are really calling the shots.